What is going on, Steelers Nation? Welcome back to another video. As always, please like, comment, and subscribe. But let's talk about last night's game. The Pittsburgh Steelers played the Seattle Seahawks in Game 1 of the preseason. Got to see all three quarterbacks. Got to see all three quarterbacks excel. Mitchell Trubisky came in the first quarter, looked real great, had 2 drives, scored on the first one there to Gunnar Olszewski. Overall, looked good. I mean, he moved around in the pocket, something that we haven't been able to see lately. But overall, good first impression for Mitch on my end here. I think, going into week 1 of the regular season, I personally do think that he is going to be the starter for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And as of right now, on the roster, Game 1 in preseason, he is. Now let's talk about the second quarterback that came in preseason Game 1, and that's Mason Rudolph. Mason Rudolph, first play, obviously a little shaky, got sacked, almost fumbled the ball, but bounced right back, drove right down the field, and then hit that dime to George Pickens, which 1 was a great pass, back corner of the end zone. 2 was a great catch from George Pickens, who's been nothing but outstanding for the Pittsburgh Steelers this season so far, just through camp and now preseason Game 1, getting his first touchdown there. So overall, good impression of Mason Rudolph. I think he played very well, and truthfully, I think he probably secures the second spot as of right now going into week 2 of the preseason. Now, we talk about quarterback number 3, obviously, Kenny Pickett. Everybody was on their feet when he got on that field. It was very exciting to watch. The atmosphere, it's probably the craziest preseason game I've ever seen in Pittsburgh in years. So many people were there. I think, obviously, the main reason, it's just a new season, new, start to a franchise, almost like that. No more Big Ben, obviously. And then Kenny Pickett comes out on the field, first drive, scores a touchdown. Overall, he had a great game. We saw what he did on the last drive too. He had the game-winning touchdown, which was awesome. I mean, great confidence booster for the kid. And overall, I mean, the Steelers have a great problem here. I know it's only week 1. We can't get too excited about it, but all 3 quarterbacks look good. All 3 quarterbacks, I could sit here and say, you know what? After this game, they do look like they could all be starters. I'm just being real with that. I know, obviously, Pickett got to see more of the backups and stuff, but again, he didn't make many mistakes. He looked good. He was accurate, 11 for 13, if I'm not mistaken. Overall, just a good game. Jaylen Warren, too, talking about other players. Jaylen Warren had a great game running back there. He, just looked great, along with Anthony McFarland, another guy who's trying to take over that second spot. We didn't see any Benny Snell last night, which, to me personally, I don't like him as our number 2 anyway. But overall, I think those 2 running backs played very well. And then even Master Teague at the end, when he got to come in and play, he had a couple of good runs too. So overall, the running back position looked great. Quarterbacks looked great. Wide receivers looked great. Connor Hayward coming in, he looked great too. He had made a couple of great catches. He did have the 1 false start. Not that big of an issue, but overall, I mean, they look good. Now let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. Obviously, there were not a lot of starters in there at all. Maybe Miles Jack, Devin Bush. We did get to see, some Levi Wallace, Akella Witherspoon was in there until he got hurt and never came back into that game. But we saw a lot of the, rotation guys on the defense, especially on that defensive line, and right away that looked weak. But again, when you don't have Watt on the edge, Highsmith on the edge, no Walu, no Cam Hayward, you're going to have that. So, but overall, I mean, the defense, definitely the weakest point of the team yesterday. But overall, I mean, this whole team looked good. And I would definitely say that it was in the running game that they definitely lacked. I mean, it was something that I felt like we saw last season too. But again, preseason, Game 1, overall, they get the win. I think the quarterbacks, wide receiver, offense looked very good. Missing Najee Harris, Pat Freiermuth. I just think that, Deontay Johnson, Claypool, more guys named in there that we're missing on the offense. They just look real good. So, credit to them. A+ game for the offense, probably about a B- for the defense. But overall, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers look great in week 1 of the preseason. They move on to week 2 against Jacksonville. We'll see what happens there. I think, we might be able to see a little bit more Kenny Pickett, maybe a little bit more Mason Rudolph. I'm happy with Trubisky's performance. I don't know how much he's going to get next week. Maybe just a drive. I'm not really sure. But overall, good team win. and we'll see what happens for the rest of the preseason here. I think they cut 5 players this week, and once those players come out, I'll obviously make a video about that. But overall, good game, preseason game 1. My question to everybody who made it this far: what did you like in game 1? What didn't you like? What do you think the Steelers could work on? And what do you think their biggest success was in game 1? But thank you all for watching this video, and here we go, Steelers.